Before we begin this video, I recommend that you visit google.com and search for dinardata.com. This website is a great resource for the latest updates on Dinar Guru news, all conveniently located on one page. For more information, I encourage you to visit the site.
Pretty much everything happening right now, along with Sudani being in the UN, everything has to do with Iraq going international. The chatter coming out of the banking side has been pretty severe today, in a good way. They say rates are being seen, but I haven't confirmed them, but I am hearing this from 3 to 4 different sources that work at different banking institutions, and they all agree on the rate of $3.57 on the screens. It's certainly interesting this is being seen by so many, and the same rate. Iraq presents to US Treasury date for abandoning currency auction. Quote, the Prime Minister informed Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, US Treasury Department, keeps only 5% of remittances foreign. It is not done through the electronic platform, and it will be completed by the end of this year. Prime Minister discusses with US Secretary of State ending international coalition presence in Iraq. We had 3 articles the other day and now we have another one out today. Article, removing zeros from the Iraqi dinar is back in the spotlight, strengthening the currency or just changing its form. Quote, remove the zero, is done by removing specific number of zeros from the nominal value of the currency. They didn't say from the currency bills themselves. They're talking about the nominal value. For all you folks out there that have been talking about a lot, please just read and see, what is the value of your currency? Today it's 0.00076. If you take off 3 zeros, what do you have? 0.76. Mr. Sammy, bank friend, expects by the end of this year or early 25 we will see what we're looking for, but he agrees with you it could happen at any time in the next 3 months of this year. Frank, Mr. Sammy and I are on the same page. The only difference is he's truing the pages a little slower than I am. I do not see this going into next year. I would like to assure the Dinar investor community of a couple of things. There comes a time when common sense and logic must prevail. There will be no travel necessary to exchange your dinar for American dollars, USD. You will not have to go to Jordan, Egypt, or Syria. There will be no 10 cents revaluation. It was already at the rate of $3.22 to 1 dinar when the only resource was oil. Dr. Shabibi, the preeminent expert, stated publicly that Iraq could sustain an $16 to 1 dinar rate, but let's not get greedy. $4.80 is just about right. Stay tuned because I will have a mind bender coming for you next time and it will really make you think. We had 5 of these articles talking about deleting the zeros, and then 1 today, so 6 total within 3 days. Very amazing. Removing zeros is getting rid of the large 3-0 notes and replacing them with smaller size currency notes but at an increased value. So when the rate changes, the large notes have the same purchase power before the rate change as the smaller notes after the rate changes. They would have to increase the value for the currency, strengthen it, to delete the zeros. This news is looking really good. It's getting hot in here. Banks are very excited, seeing dinar at $3.57. They say they're just awaiting authorization. The $3.57 rate on the bank screens will be higher when we go in. Even though some are expecting IT today, I am focusing more on tomorrow. Definitely good news if IT holds true. They're not doing exactly the same thing they did in Kuwait. Iraq has 25,000 notes. Kuwait never inflated their money. They never had to. They're not using the same terminology. They devalued their currency to keep it from being stolen by Iraq. They didn't want the Kuwait people to lose their wealth, so they devalued the currency. As soon as Iraq was chased out of Kuwait, they turned around and they redenominated, which means they changed the looks of the notes. They didn't have to delete zeros. Kuwait got new notes. The denominations never changed. Iraq plans currency redenomination amid economic challenges. Quote, many countries remove zeros from their currencies to revalue the national currency and facilitate financial transactions. This process involves eliminating a certain number of zeros from the nominal value of the currency, making it less inflationary and more stable. The Prime Minister informed Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, U.S. Treasury Department, keeps only 5% of remittances foreign. It is not done through the electronic platform, and it will be completed by the end of this year, then the transition to correspondent banks. He said the office al-Sudani's media, in a statement received by Sumaria News, said that al-Sudani received, yesterday evening, Monday, Baghdad time, the U.S. Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, Wally Adeyemo, and a number of officials in the Treasury Department. The meeting witnessed a discussion of bilateral economic relations between the two countries in various vital sectors, a review of the government's efforts and plans for economic and financial reform, the move towards diversifying the sources of Iraqi output, enhancing development targets, and practical measures implemented in the field of combating money laundering.